Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my week 22 to 26 pregnancy update. A lot kind of went on in the last 4 weeks. As of today, I'm a little bit over 26 weeks. I'm not quite 27 weeks, but we're actually about to go out of town for Christmas and we leave Monday. So we only have like 3 days before we leave. So I really wanted to go ahead and film this video so that I don't fall behind. Let's just get started with week 22. So week 22 was Thanksgiving week, and I actually had an appointment that week. Sorry if I look down, but all my notes are on my phone. And during that appointment, the baby weighed 1 pound, 1 ounce, and the heartbeat was 145. And according to my baby apps, the baby was the size of a spaghetti squash. And as someone who eats spaghetti squash pretty regularly, that was really entertaining to me because I have a newfound appreciation for that vegetable. And then at Thanksgiving, I had family members start actually noticing a belly. So it wasn't just, for a while, everyone kept saying how I wasn't showing. And then I think week 22 was the first time anybody even acknowledged the fact that I had a little belly growing. I also started at week 22, I started lathering myself twice a day to prevent stretch marks. So during the day, I started using this Palmer's cocoa butter, not the one with all the chemicals in it or the dyes. I don't like that one, but I use this, it's like a heavy, like wax almost. I wish I had it with me. It's really far away, and being pregnant is really hard to get up now. So I will put a picture right here for you and I'll link it down below. It's actually really hard to get out of the container and it's not my favorite, but I use that one during the day. And at night I use the Egyptian Magic, which I swear by. It's completely all natural. I'll also leave a picture for you here. And I'll also link that one down below. I've used Egyptian Magic for years. I love that product. It's really greasy and really oily, so if that's not something you like, then you probably won't be interested in it, but it is amazing, and so far, fingers crossed and knock on wood, no stretch marks yet. But I'm definitely lathering up twice a day. I don't care if I look greasy, I don't care, I just want to prevent as much as I can. Week 23, the baby was the size of a mango. For some reason, I don't get it. I feel like some weeks the vegetables and fruits, like they seem really big one week. Like a spaghetti squash seems bigger than a mango to me, but I don't really get it. I guess sometimes they do length, sometimes they do weight, I don't know. But that's just what my app said. And I felt like at 23 weeks, I started to show even more. By 23 weeks, I had a weight gain total of 13 pounds, which was pretty much right on track to where I should be. And then in week 23, I also started getting backaches while sleeping. Because my belly got bigger, I feel like I just can't get comfortable. I know you're not really supposed to lay flat on your back after, I think, 12 or 14 weeks because the uterus can compress a major artery and it can decrease blood flow to your brain and the baby, and it's just kind of dangerous. So I try and sleep on my left side. I think I said that in one of my other videos, but I switch between my right and my left because like my back will start hurting and my hips hurt, and I just feel like a granny. So sleeping is getting a little bit harder. And it doesn't help that all of a sudden our dog has developed this weird habit where our bed's really high, and she jumps up usually in the middle of the night and lays with us, and we put like a little ottoman so she could jump up, and in the middle of the night now she needs like permission or something to jump up on the bed. Every night without fail at 3 in the morning she will come around and I have to make eye contact with her and tell her up, and she'll whine until I do that. She'll whine and whine and whine, and the second I make eye contact and give her permission, she comes up. So it won't work unless I make eye contact. So every night at 3 in the morning, I have to look up at my dog, tell her to come up, and then she'll come up. So she's very neurotic. So it should be fun with a newborn and our neurotic dog. Week 24, they said the baby is as long as an ear of corn, which, yay, I don't know. I didn't find that one very exciting. A lot of people actually start asking me like, oh, how far along are you? Oh, what fruit is that? And I thought I would like, saying, oh, it's the size of this, but I don't like that because I feel like the baby's much bigger than an ear of corn. It's not like a narrow oblong thing. So I don't know. I'll go with the references. I guess it's as long as an ear of corn, but once again, I just don't like the fruit and vegetable references. It might just be me. But week 24 is such an exciting week because it's technically viability week. So According to everything I've read, week 24 is where there is a better chance of your baby surviving if you happen to go into preterm labor. And at week 24, hospitals will do whatever necessary to keep the baby alive if for some reason anything went wrong. And I hate to even think that way or, acknowledge that, but, it's one of those things where it's a milestone. You've passed the viability milestone, and, it's just something a little bit more reassuring. Like, I know that being pregnant, I was pretty laid back. I mean, maybe not laid back, that's probably not a good term, but I was pretty relaxed when it came to overthinking everything in, the first and most of the second trimester. But as it's becoming like closer and closer to my due date and closer to the baby being born, I get really nervous, about like milestones, and I don't know. Week 24 eased my mind that it was viability week. So there's that. And week 24 also started the kicks getting so much stronger. So I've been feeling kicks. I think I felt my first kick around 13, but it was like one kick and that was it. 16, I started feeling them regularly. And by 24, they are so strong that you can like see my belly move. And I actually was quite alarmed one night because I thought she was trying to actually break out. So week 24, the kicks got really strong. And week 24 is also when I personally felt like I started showing. Week 22, I felt like I could still kind of hide it if I like sucked in a little bit and, like put a baggy shirt on or something. So I felt like I could still kind of hide it. But week 24, I feel like it was just belly's out there. It is what it is. Week 24 is when I really personally felt like I started showing. I still have the backaches while sleeping. They're kind of getting worse just as the baby gets bigger. And I started having, I think, Braxton Hicks contractions. I've read what they are, but it's so hard because no one can tell you, oh yes, that's exactly what you're feeling. But sometimes if I stand for a while, like my mom was in town and we were shopping and, doing baby stuff, and it was really fun. But I was standing there and I felt like all of a sudden I got like, it wasn't cramping, but my stomach got really, really tight. It wasn't painful, it was just uncomfortable. And from what I've read, I'm pretty sure it's Braxton Hicks contractions. But they're completely harmless and normal. So, and they're supposed to go away once you rest. So because my mom was in town, we were actively shopping and busy and everything. So I think that's probably why I started feeling them, but they haven't gotten worse. And I think that was pretty normal. Week 25, the baby was the size of a rutabaga. I know what a rutabaga is, but I don't think I've ever seen one, used one, eaten one, cooked with one. I don't know, a rutabaga. And during week 25, I had one day where I didn't feel a lot of kicks. It was like a really quiet day. And I don't know if she was just flipped in a weird position that I just couldn't feel it or what was going on. But it actually really kind of freaked me out because she had been so active up until that point that, not feeling her pretty much all day really made me nervous. But usually when I can't feel her, I try and lay on my left side and really relax, put my hand on my belly, and eventually she'll give me a couple kicks to know that she's okay in there. But I didn't like that. I did ask the midwife about it. She said that's normal because the baby is starting to get bigger and it's running out of room in there. So before it had tons of space inside the uterus to move around and do what it needed to do, and now that space is getting smaller. And sorry, I keep having hiccups and heartburn. The baby's running out of room, so there's less kicking. So that was normal. I do feel a lot of rolls now, not in my stomach, but I can feel her rolling. And I think that's a really cool feeling. And so this week I wanted to talk about this week 26. I had my big glucose test this week. So I wanted to wait to film this video until I had my glucose test. Oh, and the baby's as long as zucchini this week. So an ear of corn and a zucchini seem pretty comparable to me, but another milestone is that 26 weeks we have the sonogram and the baby now weighs 2 pounds. So that's really exciting to me. And she's also head down now. I know that babies can flip and move, and my midwife said don't worry about it before 37 weeks, but she's head down, and hopefully they said maybe she'll stay like that. Most babies, I guess, around this time tend to go head down and get into position. So hearing the words get into position makes it seem like Okay, it's happening. Like into position for labor. It's real. Oh, in the sonogram, I'm just looking at my notes. In the sonogram, it was really cute. We saw a little yawn. I had never seen a yawn on an on an ultrasound. I have the worst pregnancy brain right now. I had this shirt on backwards today. I had my pants on backwards today. That's another side note. Sorry, I'm all over the place. My brain just isn't functioning. But in the sonogram, not Instagram, she was yawning and playing with her toes, and it was really cute. At one point, they were trying to get a visual of her face just to be nice, because I guess they had extra time, and she wasn't staying still. And then all of a sudden she moved her little hand up and started patting just like at the top of my uterus, or wherever she is down there. She just reached her hand up and started patting it gently, which was completely adorable. It almost looked like she was like reassuring me that she was okay in there. And I had been psyching myself out for this glucose test for so long because my mom threw up, my sister threw up. I've had friends like almost pass out. They tell me it's like horrible, you feel terrible, don't drive yourself, all of these crazy things. So I was really psyching myself up for it. I was told not to fast. I just did the 1 hour normal, the first glucose, I think it's glucose challenge. So for breakfast, I had eggs, which I heard you're just supposed to eat protein, not a lot of carbs, not a lot of sugar. I had eggs and water. I didn't even have I had 1 sip of coffee, but I didn't really have coffee. And then for lunch, I had a salad with avocado, and I looked at the dressing and it didn't have sugar, so that was good. And then I didn't eat about 2 hours before the test. So by the time I got to the test, I was starving. And they gave me this orange drink, and I think it was like 50 milligrams of sugar. I don't know. It had the 50 on it, so that was how much sugar it had on it. And I drank it, and then an hour later they drew my blood, and the drink actually didn't taste like, it was not good. I wouldn't drink it ever again, but it tasted like Gatorade that hadn't been properly like watered down. It just tasted like orange syrup almost, and it wasn't like thick though, so it wasn't awful. But I didn't really have any crazy side effects. I felt a little bit nauseous, but it wasn't like unbearable. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't going to pass out. My husband actually came with me because I didn't know how I was going to react. And I'm actually usually really sensitive to sugar. So I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign that I didn't like have a reaction to it, but it is what it is. So when they drew my blood, they have a glucose meter in the office, and they said, well, run a quick test on it, but we go by the official lab results. They send it to a lab, and the lab tests it, and that's your results. They said their glucose meter that they have is usually about 15 points higher than what your actual blood sugar level is. So they were like, it'll probably be lower when it goes to the lab. So they wanted my blood sugar to be under 135, and on their glucose meter it was a 137. But because they said it's always pretty much always 15 points over, they said I most likely passed. So fingers crossed. I probably won't find out till next week, and next week's Christmas, so I don't know when I'm going to find out. But I will update you in the video if I passed my glucose test. I really hope I did, because I don't know. I don't want to prick my finger. I don't want to take the 3-hour test. There's a lot of things I don't want to do. So Monday, we are flying to Florida for Christmas, and I'm actually really nervous to fly. I haven't flown pregnant yet, and I know it's totally safe, and people do it all the time, but I'm just a little nervous because I'm nervous about everything. I'm a first-time mom, and I have no idea what's like normal for me. So I am going to take a baby aspirin because my midwife told me it's really important, because when you are pregnant, you're more prone to blood clots, and she said it's not worth the risk not to take it. Just to take it, it won't harm anything. So I'm going to try taking a baby aspirin. Obviously, if you're thinking about this, ask your doctor before you take anything. That was just my midwife's suggestion to me. So while I'm in Florida, I'm also having a Florida baby shower. I have 2 baby showers. The Florida baby showers for anyone who can't make it to New York, where we live. So we're having one with like my family and my friends down in Florida the Sunday before we leave. So I'm really excited about that. We've actually been getting boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff shipped here because people are buying stuff off our registry and sending it directly here, since I won't be able to fly with bigger items, and it's just getting really exciting. Every time we get a package, it's like something new, and we put together the nursery. I mean, by put together, I mean we just have the crib assembled, a dresser, and an area rug. So it's not like fully assembled, but we have like the basis of a nursery starting. So it's getting really exciting. And the one other thing I wanted to talk about was I've been having really bad nosebleeds. There was one day, I think in week 24, I woke up and I had like blood all over my face. I guess I sneezed or my nose had bled, and it was all over my face, and it was really alarming. I like looked in the mirror and there was just blood, and I wiped it off, and then I realized it was just a bloody nose, and it was fine. But my like sinuses, like up in my sinuses, are so irritated. I've been using a saline spray. I've been trying to, you know, I'm very hydrated, so I don't know what that is. It might just be pregnancy. We also have been using the heat because it's cold out, so I think it's just a combination of both. But for some reason, I cannot get my nose to like stay hydrated and stop bleeding. So that's one other thing I've been experiencing. I just realized I almost ended this video without showing you what my bump looks like at 26 weeks. So this is, ignore the sweatpants. Whenever I film a video, I just want to be comfortable. So this is my 26-week bump. Here's a better look at it. So I officially feel like I am really showing. This is it from the front. Oh, and another thing, I am obsessed with this shirt from Pink Blush. It is so comfortable. It's really kind of casual and perfect for Christmas. And it's like the perfect little sporty maternity shirt. So thank you, Pink Blush, for sending me this shirt. I'm in love, and I can't wait to wear it on Christmas. So that's officially it for this video. So be sure to like this video and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel for more pregnancy updates. I'll see you next time.